Okay, this is Miss Dallas. We're gonna go over the warm-up questions for biotechnology. Pull them up. Biotechnology warm-up questions. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it in this setting right here so you can see it. Okay, we're at 166. It says which is a positive result of the use of biotechnology in agriculture? And your answer should be an increased yield. A yield is how many crops a farmer brings in. Okay, so that's the whole thing about biotech in agriculture. You want to get more bang for your buck. You want to get more than you would get normally. Okay, so that's a positive result. And make sure y'all writing these questions down on circling the answers. Okay, 167. What is involved in creating genetically modified bacteria? You should choose answer choice C, using biotechnology techniques. Okay, remember genetic modifying bacteria? So we actually take the DNA of one organism and put it in another. We actually do this with bacteria for insulin for diabetics. We talked about diabetes and how it's your pancreas doesn't make insulin. So what they've done is you used to grow insulin from cows and pigs, but that takes too long. So they started growing bacteria because we talked about bacteria grow really fast, really quick. So what they do is they put the DNA, human insulin DNA, in bacteria, and they merged it with it, and they started growing insulin in bacteria. They like to use that question on the EOG, so y'all pay attention to that. Okay, next thing. Which is the application of genetic engineering? Okay, we just talked about that, and it should be creating synthetic insulin from the bacteria. Okay, that would be the best answer choice from all those. So it's B, creating synthetic insulin. Okay, 169. Which has impacted North Carolina's economy the least in the field of bioremediation? Okay, remember bioremediation um, means the cleaning up, using bacteria to clean up oil spills and that kind of stuff. So think about where bacteria can live. They're going to live in the soil and the water. They're not going to fly. Bacteria don't fly in the air. So the best one, the least likely one, would be cleaning air pollution, which is A. They'll get the the pollutants in soil and the pollutants in water. So the answer should be A for that one. K170. To help meet the world's demand for food, which biotechnological process is most likely to be used by agriculture industries? Okay, this answer is C. They're using the word transgenic. When you see transgenic, that's the same thing as genetically modified or genetic engineered. Okay, they're using crops. Okay, and they like to do a lot. Like to change a lot of DNA to these crops so that they're resistant to certain pests. Certain bugs won't eat them. Okay, on 171. Yeah, I still got that cough. What is most likely the greatest economic benefit for North Carolina from biotechnology? Okay, for this one, the answer should be, so I ain't been over these, so I'm trying to read them as we go. C, increased disease-resistant crops and greater crop yield. So you want more bang for your buck. You want more crops harvested, and you want crops that are resistant to diseases. Kind of like we make vaccines for us to keep us healthy, so we also need those things in our crops. 172. Best graduated with a degree in biotech. For which job is he best qualified? Now we're thinking about which one of these. Financial manager that somebody works at the bank, so that's not right. Car mechanic doesn't do anything with biotechnology because that's not a living thing. You got to be dealing with something that's living. The best answer should be a laboratory researcher. Okay, somebody who works in a lab doing those type of things. And like I said, in North Carolina, biotech jobs are there's tons of them. Okay, especially in the Triangle area. 173. Which improvement to agriculture is most likely a result of biotechnology? And your answer should be increased productivity. Productivity is being able to make more things. So we want to increase that. We don't want to increase our fertilizer because remember talk about fertilizers. It gets in that water, can make it not unsuitable for drinking. Too much algae growing, and we really don't want to increase land because we got enough land, or the land ain't going to increase. Really, it's always going to be the same. 174, which best describes the technique of genetic engineering. Okay, this is one when we talked about putting DNA from one into another. So it looks like your answer should be, I think it should be D. Introducing foreign DNA into an organism in order to modify the organism's DNA. Aren't you glad you ain't got to write this question out? I made it easy for y'all. Can thank me later, okay? So D is your best answer for 174. And 175, which is a concern of scientists when genetically modifying plants. Okay, the biggest thing is that there will be a decrease in biodiversity. So B is your answer. And I'll tell you later on when you get a multiple choice question and the word biodiversity is one of your answer choices, choose it. That's one of the multiple choice EOG hints I'll give you. Okay, when you see biodiversity as an answer choice, choose it. Okay. So what reason it causes that? Because if we make all the potatoes taste like McDonald's fries, did y'all know McDonald's fries are actually genetically modified? McDonald's has actually hired scientists. They genetically um, modified the certain potatoes, and that there are farms in Idaho that are just built or just owned by McDonald's, and they make just McDonald's French fries. That's why McDonald's French fries taste different. If you go to any other restaurants, the fries do not taste like McDonald's. Okay, because they have genetically modified that they've licensed and that they use. Okay, but what happens if everybody's trying to get the best thing? There's going to be a decrease in the differences. There's not going to be as much variety. And you remember, variety is the spice of life. We like diversity. 176. North Carolina has over 400 biotech companies. We talked about that in Triangle. How will the economy most likely change that number reduced by half? Well, it looks like your best answer would probably be A. The economy would decline because of job loss. If we shut those places down, a lot of people would be losing their jobs. Okay, and that would cause our economy to falter because we've got to have people working. 177. The number of projects in North Carolina biotech involve genomics, which best describes genomics. Now, I know we've not talked about this, but genomics is basically the study of genes and how they function. So your answer choice is C. C for 177. Okay, 178. Which project is most likely to be worked on by a biotechnician? Okay, so let's read this. Developing plants for resistance to high temperatures. That could be. Developing architectural designs for houses and floodplains. Isotypes. Your best answer is A, and I'm telling you why it's A, because it's the only one that's dealing with living things. B is dealing with houses. C is dealing with stuff in chemistry we'll talk about in our next section when we start in February. And D is talking about car manufacturing, metal for cars. So the only thing that's dealing with something that's alive, biotechnology means living technology. It's got to be the one with plants, which is A. That'll help you answer a lot of questions in this biotech section. Which type of bioengineered foods might provide consumers with a healthier diet? Okay. A healthier diet would probably be A for this one. Foods lower in saturated fats. Foods higher in simple starches are bad for you, can make you diabetic. Foods that do not be refrigerated, that really have anything to do with it being healthy. And then foods with lots of preservatives is usually not healthy. So A is probably the best answer for that one. Even though science is coming out saying fats are actually better for you than carbs, okay? But I don't think that science has gotten to our science EOG test yet. So let's move on. Last question, 180. Many countries in the world eat a diet consisting mostly of rice, which is filling but is often low in nutritional value. Which one of these biotechnologies could be used to get a more nutritional rice? And again, it would probably be better to use genetic modification of current rice plants. Okay, that would be your best answer. Okay, I hope y'all got all them answers. Hope y'all good. I'll be playing around. And I will see you good people. Well, I better turn this thing off, hadn't I? It always takes me forever to figure out how to turn this thing off. I guess because I'm getting old.